Springtime is here, and if you've got yard work to do and you're looking for a new mower, well, coming up on this next review, I'm going to take a look at the latest from Toro. It is their 60V Recycler Flex Force battery electric lawnmower. We all have a bit of a love-hate relationship when it comes to yard work and cutting the grass. And obviously, the quality of equipment that you use can make that relationship either better or worse. Over the years, I've on EnviroDad.com and on my YouTube channel, I've had the chance to review various lawnmowers. I've been able to review an Ego electric mower from about 3 or 4 summers ago. I've had a chance to review some push mowers. And for this spring here in 2020, I was asked by the folks from Toro to take a look at their newest battery electric mower. It is a 60-volt system. It is their Recycler. It is a Flex Force, 22 inches. And so for this next review, I'm going to take a look at it. Now, this is also a multi-tool system, and they've also sent a trimmer and a blower, which works with the same 60-volt mower overall. So we're going to take a look at the functionality of this, how easy it is to use, and give you my overall thoughts. Before I go any further, I need to make an important disclaimer. Everything that you see in front of me here was sent to me by the Toro Motor Company, as they've asked me to conduct a fair and impartial review. Now, everything you see here, I do get to keep should I want to after the review is done, but it's important to note that I have not been paid by Toro Motor Company, and all opinions expressed in this review are mine and mine alone, that are not subject to any prior approval or review. Unless you paid to have the lawnmower assembled for you and delivered that way, you're probably going to receive it in the box. So we're going to take a look at the box. We'll do an unboxing, see how it is packaged, and how easy it is to get from this stage to being ready to use. Before you use any of the items featured in this review, it is critically important to check this first. That is the manual, which includes all safety precautions and instructions that need to be adhered to. These are powerful pieces of equipment here that can hurt you if used incorrectly. So before you start, do some reading first. Charge up the battery. Here is your holder. Here is the battery. It just slots in. Here it snaps. I'm going to put it up on the shelf. And charging up. The battery used in the mower is this Flex Force power system. It is a 60-volt with 324 watt-hours. That basically is the measurement you want to look at. A battery of this size will basically cover about 1/3 of an acre, it is said, when cutting using the mower when the battery is full to empty. So you're looking at about 1/3 of an acre. The downside of this is with the Toro charging system, this takes about 2.5 hours to charge up from empty. The Ego system that I've reviewed in the past is much faster. This is a bit of a disadvantage. It is a fully interchangeable system, so if you are also going to get the use or consider buying the trimmer or the blower that I'm also going to take a look at, you could use this single battery and it just snaps in and out. The disadvantage is this is a bit heavy. This is over 5 pounds, so it adds a bit of extra weight. You can also get a smaller battery for the accessories. This is the 135 watt-hour, charges up in far less time, and it's only about 2.5 pounds, so easier to work with. But those are the battery options that we have available in the system. Battery is fully charged, and installing it into the mower is pretty easy. You just simply lift it up, and there is a slot where you would line it in. Press it all the way down, hear a click, you're charged up. So when adjusting the cut height here, you can do so anywhere from 1 to 4 inches. And the way you adjust it is on each of the 4 wheels. There is a manual adjustment which you would set. And there are about 6 or 7, I think, different cut heights that you can adjust it to. As to what is the right height to cut, depends on the time of year. We're now in spring. I'm probably going to keep it a little bit lower than I might. I think I'll probably set this first cut to about 2 inches. In the summertime, though, when it's hotter, drier, maybe prolonged periods without any rain, I would tend to cut it certainly higher, because I don't want to burn or kill the grass if you cut it too short in hot periods. This mower is the Recycler, which means, of course, it has the ability to recycle the clippings into mulch back into the lawn. And that's really what I recommend. It's better for the lawns, and a lot of municipalities nowadays are actually prohibiting grass clippings from being in your yard waste, so why not just stick to it? However, if you wanted to not use the recycling feature, there is, of course, a side vent where you can have the clippings blown out, and there is a bag attachment as well. It's a pretty simple thing to do. There's a blue switch here which converts it from a mulcher to a bagger, and the bag just hooks onto the back with simple hooks in, and it's not hard to do. However, in my case, I'm going to stick to the recycling and keep mulching going forward. Operating this TORO Flex-Force Recycler is pretty easy, and it's got a bit of an interesting twist though. You actually have this key which is supposed to go in, and it will not start without. You simply insert it into the slot here, and it's kind of interesting because the manual recommendations say you should always have it removed when storing or changing. To me, this looks like something that could get lost, and if you lose it, well, you can't operate. The connection is broken. But nonetheless, you stick it in here, you depress, you pull up on the bail switch, and away you go. It has a self-propelled feature, of course, as well, and to do that, there is a lower handle, but the upper handle you just push down, and the further down you push, the more it will go. This is a rear wheel drive system, so that will propel you, and it can help basically setting the own pace. So again, just to give it a start, we just basically push down on the blue button, pull up on the bail switch, and away it goes. And to let go, to stop the motor, release the bail switch, and it's off. Simple as that. All right, so I'm ready to give this a shot now, and while I am going to be cutting my own grass, I have to admit I've long admired the lawn and the look of my neighbors across the street. It's actually quite visually appealing, especially if we're going to do a video review. So earlier I actually went over and asked him if part of my review I could cut his grass as well, and well, naturally he said yes. So let me just show you. So I'm also going to be cutting my lawn, but I just want to point out to you that we're also going to be taking a look and cutting, well, this guy's as well. Yeah, that looks good. And finally, my overall impressions of this Flex-Force 22-inch recycler mower and the overall Flex-Force system and attachments I got to try out. Now, on the plus side, I think this is a pretty easy to use and versatile system. I like the interchangeability of the battery. You can pop one out, pop it into the attachments if you just want to get done quickly. Even though you might have a heavier battery, you can certainly go for the attachments with smaller batteries if you wish, but the versatility of this is definitely a plus. The mower itself overall is pretty easy to use. I didn't have any experience with self-propelled mowers before, but it didn't take me very long to get used to this one, and it even did help me on my neighbor's lawn, especially with a couple of passes that were a bit of uphill gradient to it. The 22-inch blades are certainly something I liked as well, because obviously you get more lawn cut in a single pass, and I will admit I do have a bias, and I far prefer the fact that this is a battery cordless. I've had corded mowers in the past, and while they're fine, they always got tangled around obstacles, and it would take me longer to cut because I'd have to work around things, and I really don't want to use gas mowers if I don't have to, because overall the environmental footprint of a battery mower, when you consider everything involved, is lower than that of a gas mower, so that's definitely a plus as well. As for the negatives, I did not like how I had to individually adjust the cut height on all four wheels. It was cumbersome and time consuming, and when you compare it to the Ego system that has one single lever to adjust, this certainly is not as good. I was also surprised at how long it actually took to charge up the 324 battery. 2.5 hours means you're going to have to plan around when you're going to cut this and make sure you've planned far enough ahead to ensure you have a full charge in the battery. Again, to compare it to the Ego, which I've reviewed in the past, which has a battery that charges in about 40 minutes, this is definitely a disadvantage in terms of how long it takes to cut. On the whole, my impressions though are positive. I enjoyed getting to try out this system and I found it very convenient and fun to use. So if you are in the marketplace for a new mower, you want to consider battery powered versus corded or gas, definitely look at this Flex4 system. You'll probably find yourself enjoying it too. That's it for this review. For EnviroDad.com, I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching. There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.